So welcome to my channel and my latest video. Wanted to give you a quick idea of my favourite GoPro or action cam mounts. I just happen to use GoPros. This is one of my favourite little routes between Bicester and Chipping Norton, if you're interested in where I am. So top 5, and this is just purely the best. I'm going to have to open this visor a little bit. It's 26.5 degrees today, filming this in mid-September. So these are not necessarily the ones I use in my videos the most, because sometimes practicalities of switching them on and off is more important, but these are the ones that I would use more of if I could. So in the usual tradition, starting with number 5, I give you the rear mounted shot. And bear in mind that I'm tending to use these on touring holidays. I'll park it on the left hand pannier for obvious reasons if you're travelling abroad, plus the fact that with my left hand I can just put my hand behind my back. Now I know where the session is mounted, so I can turn it on and off easily for parts that I want to film. As you can see from this footage on recent videos, it gives you great B-roll to add into the story. You can shoot your friends riding behind, the views up or down the valley. Gives a much better idea perhaps of what's going on in the story. So number 4, I would say that I would use the mount that's on the upper crash bars. So you could possibly just about see one on the right hand side here. I'll turn that on and do a little bit of video so you can see. I'll intersplice this. So on touring purposes I use this on the left hand bar so that I can get views out to the rear and the side if we're going up or down a pass or something like that. And again, it gives you good B-roll footage. Again, you can film your colleagues behind to the side of you, and it gives an interesting perspective. Not only that, you can get these GoPro mounts. I bought 2, one for the crash bars and one for the handlebar. They come with different size fittings for them. Basically they come with a rubber grommet that enables you to fit them there, but one won't fit the other. The nice thing about these is that they've got a little lever on the side, so you can easily turn them to different perspectives as you're riding along. Obviously it's best to stop, line it up, and great side views going up or down mountains. So this is the Oxford Chipping Norton Road, the A44. But again, it's a great, gives you some different perspectives, and from the left hand side it's easier to move it around those graduated marks, so you can have it to the rear, to the side and to the front. Right, for those of you interested, just turning off on this B4031 towards Bicester. It's the back road, nice and windy through the countryside before we get down to so at number 3, what I'll call is the double GoPro pole mount. This is the most interesting, I think, and I have to admit I stole this from an American. So this pole, it's an extendable GoPro pole, and I've attached one to the side of the crash bar, as you can see here, and it's clamped in a couple of places. and then you add the second pole, screw it into the top mount of the first GoPro pole mount, and then you extend that out to get the height so it leans out in front of the bike to one side. Again, because I tour around Europe quite a lot, I chose to put it on the right hand side, the off side of the bike. Pretty dangerous position for in England because it does stick out a little bit, but when you're abroad, of course, it's on the near side to the curb. So angle the camera. I do tend to use the Session because it's just easier, but it's better if you use a sort of vibration cancelling GoPro like the 6 or the 7 really. But it does give you these really interesting camera angle, so it gives them interesting shots of you, especially on the corners, because of course it's lifted right up or laid right down as you go through the corner, depending on which corner you're going through. So again, you can take shots of your mates following behind. So that's my number 3. So coming in, I would say the handlebar mount, I'll show it you in the pictures, but basically it fits onto the handlebar here, so again it's nice and easy to get to and turn on or off when you're travelling along. Gonna have to open the visor a bit, I'm sorry, it's just too warm, sorry about the noise. And again, because it's one of these GoPro mounts which you can click around, you can very easily with one hand either on the go, you didn't hear that here, or stop and just move it, click it around into different positions, so forward mount, side, rear, etc. as you need it. Really good, stable enough on there. I did wonder about there being too much vibration, but it doesn't seem to vibrate at all. Well, admittedly, I put the Hero 6 in that unit. Oh. Close that a moment. So of course, finally, the most used one is the forward mounted helmet cam. I think it's used the most really. I've got a larger memory card in this one, and I only need to change the battery once, usually it's sort of lunchtime if you're selective over your shots, whereas the others have got half that size. I've got a 64 gig card in the helmet cam and 32s in all of my other cams, but I have got a battery charger so I can change them over at lunchtime. So the helmet cam, I looked at a lot of other channels, and some people like to have it on the top of the helmet. The top of the helmet gives a good view, but it gives you, let's open the visor, but it does, when you look back on it, you've got no context over the bike or anything. So I just don't like the look of the camera and the helmet in the sort of side view. So I chose to go with this front of the sort of chin mounted, and I've used all this all-in-one unit to incorporate that horrible GoPro adapter that you need for audio. So it tidies it all up, and there's a separate video on that coming out shortly if it's not already listed. And I just think it gives you the best shot. It's really a point of view, personal view, rider view of what's going on. So you can see the handlebars, what's going on there, the speed, the dials, everything like that. So it just gives you a better idea. You see what the rider sees really, and I've only got to turn my head to give a better idea or an extended view of something that I'm driving past. And of course, if you set it up with audio, as I've done, you get a great sound of the engine as well. You get that through the other units, but it's so much wind noise unless you use a separate microphone, I found. So there you go. That's my top 5, not necessarily your top 5, but my preferred top 5. And it might be of interest to some of you who are thinking of setting up a moto vlogging with a bit of GoPro mounts and action camera mounts. Variety, basically. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a look around the channel, and hopefully you'll view one or two others. Hopefully you'll find some of the touring videos of interest. Next year yet to be planned out. Got a few ideas. Could be a long trip, could be a full tour of Spain over 3 weeks, could be another return to the Picos and north of Spain, North Spain, Picos area, Portugal. Please click the like button if that was of interest to you, and perhaps you'll consider subscribing for future videos if you found this of interest. As I work full time, it's a little difficult to bring you more regular content, but hopefully you found that of interest. Anyway, I'll sign off from this sunny village of Ano. Really pretty out in this Cotswolds area. Come out here and have a ride round if you're looking for somewhere fresh to ride your motorcycle. Very pretty, lots of turns, not very busy. This is a Saturday as well. Okay, all the best, catch up with you next time.